Wow, these knockout rounds in Euro 2020 have been insane. Hello and welcome back to our Euro 2020 fantasy content here on FM Blog. My name is Reese. Today we're going to be doing a wildcard draft for the quarterfinals in Euro 2020 fantasy football. So if you're wondering where the Football Manager videos have gone, don't worry, they will be back soon, but we've just got a few more days and weeks to go until the end of the fantasy competition. So we're absolutely smashing it at the moment. If you want to get involved, the league code and everything is in the description. Do hit a like on the video if you enjoy them, and we'll talk through the draft now. Okay, so this is it in all its glory, and you can see just below my head here I should have the fixtures. We're still waiting on the result of the England and Germany game, so the caveat for this team is basically all the England players, if they don't go through, get them out and get the German players in, for example, and I'll talk you through which ones to get as we go through on the video. So the first thing to note, you might not be able to see this on the screen, but I still got 2.1 million left in my budget, so it wasn't very hard to build this team and be happy with it. I don't think money is going to be an issue. A few of the big teams have been knocked out, obviously France, Netherlands, Portugal. Spain plays Switzerland on Friday the 2nd of June in the first quarter final at 5 o'clock. And I am back in Spain to win that game. I've got Morata, who I think is nailed on in that Spain team. He's probably the only player who hasn't been rotated in the first 11. Luis Enrique has just come out in the press constantly backing this guy. He's not always the best finisher, but he does so much good work for the team. And he scored in that last game, and I just think the tide could be turning for Morata now. And we know Spain are the kings of XG, which is expected goals. So we expect Morata to score some goals. Next up, we've gone for Harry Kane. Now, if England don't go through, I would switch this to maybe Thomas Muller, but I'd have to check my research on the Germany team because I'm not too hot on it. Obviously, Kane nailed on in that England team, and you'll notice a theme throughout this wildcard is that I've gone for players who are nailed on because your team's going to be knocked out, right? Well, some of your players are definitely going to be knocked out unless you're very, very lucky. So the ones that you carry on through, surely you want to be positive that they're going to play. Yeah, so that is a general theme going through this draft, is that the players that I've picked are the most nailed on in their teams according to my judgment anyway. So next up, I've got Immobile from Italy. Really impressed with Italy during this tournament. It's a difficult fixture against Belgium, but one of them's got to win and one of them's got to go through. I've gone to 3 Italy, which may be a little bit too much, but I've not gone for any more than 3 of any other team apart from England/Germany, who I've got 4. Italy's 3, and then I think that all the others are 2, but we'll double check as we go through. Damsgaard then on the left. Really impressed with Damsgaard. I've only actually managed to watch Denmark once, and that was against Wales. Whoops. I mean whoops, because Wales are bad. I've gone for Souček then, who's 6.5, which is a bit expensive I think for what he offers, but there's always a chance he can get a goal from a header, right? It's Souček, we know what he's all about. Shaqiri then, I've gone 7.4 million. They play against Spain, but I wanted to have at least one from each team, just in case there is an upset kind of thing. And don't forget, we do get 5 free transfers after this round. Then I gone for Berardi, who is probably the best value pick I think in the game at the moment. 6.3 million. I think he's nailed on in that Italian team. He's played every single game apart from the rest and the 3rd match of the group stages. That brings us neatly onto the back line with Spinazzola gets his spot. And if you followed me on Twitter at FNWKDS, the link's in the description, you would have seen my lovely Spinazzola tweet, and I won't spoil it for you here. Next up then, we got Harry Maguire, centre back, nailed on in that England team, presuming he's fit. I mean, I say presuming, he is fit. He played the last game. They're not going to drop him all of a sudden. Then we've got Laporte. Like I said, there's a lot of rotation in that Spanish team, so I've gone for Laporte because he seems to be the most nailed centre back. All the other players in that team, apart from maybe Koke, are a little bit up in the air. We've seen Ferran Torres get rested like twice. Gerard Moreno didn't get a minute in the last game. That brings me neatly onto Unai Simon. 5.2 million for a Spanish goalkeeper. What could go wrong? The bench then, and take no notice of the order of the bench because I haven't actually made these transfers, so I can't move them around as far as I know. Sterling, 9.75 million was the last player I picked, and that actually brings me up to 4 England players, but that was the only team that I really felt confident going that heavy on, because they'll play, if I'm right in saying, either the Ukraine or Sweden, which should be the most favourable out of all the fixtures. So you kind of play in the odds a little bit there. Obviously, if it's Germany, instead of Sterling, I would go Havertz. Instead of Maguire, I would go Gozens. And instead of Kane, I would go Thomas Muller, or potentially I'd get Gnabry in the midfield and then get maybe Lukaku up front instead, and maybe do a little switcheroo there. Going for Mail destroyed us in the last 16, us being Wales. 2 goals in his last 2 games. Why wouldn't you pick this guy? I've had a few people asking me last week, oh, should I pick him? And it's just a no-brainer. Just pick him. He plays wing back. He scored in the previous game, and now he scored in the other previous game. Absolute no-brainer. Maybe Denmark don't go through, but that's why I've got at least 1 Czech player as well in Thomas Souček, just so I'm riding both sides of that wave. Thomas Meunier then comes in as my Belgium player. 5.7 million. Again, he's a wing back, so he plays more advanced, a lot more chance of attacking returns, and yeah, it's just the other side of the coin. If Italy get knocked out, I got at least 1 Belgian player. That will mean I'll have to make 3 transfers from Italy, and then I'll just have 2 left. Then obviously you'll have to use your bench. Really difficult at this part of the tournament, especially if you haven't got your wild card, which I actually haven't, and a lot of people probably don't either. So this is my wildcard draft. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Are there any changes you would make, apart from obviously Italy and England? Are there any players I haven't gone for which you think are must-haves? Let me know. Hit a like on the video if you enjoy it, and make sure you subscribe to the FM Wonder Kids channel, where the link is in the video description, because we'll be doing the team selection over on that channel probably tomorrow. So get involved with that, keep your notifications on just so you don't miss them, and I will see you soon for more Euro 2020 fantasy football and Football Manager coming back soon. Speak to you later. Peace.